Welcome to another episode of Den Talks. Today we're going to talk about thyroid disorders and its implications in dental practice. As you all know, thyroid gland is the largest endocrine gland of the body. It secretes two important hormones T3 and T4, triiodothyronine and tetroiodothyronine or thyroxine. These two hormones are very essential and very crucial for the various functions of the body. They play a vital role in maintaining the basal metabolic rate of the body. They have a very important role in the cardiovascular system. They have very important function and significance on the respiratory system. They also have a very important function on the renal system whereby the glomerular filtration rate is controlled and adjusted and regulated. They also have a very important role in the growth and developments of every cell of the body, including the bone and the brain cells and everything. They also play a vital role in the gastric motility or the intestinal motility. They also play a vital role in the distribution of the fat and the growth and development and also in generating energy. Now let's see how these hormones are regulated in the body. Whenever there is an increased demand or need of these thyroxine hormones, there is a positive feedback mechanism or a positive stimulus is sent to the hypothalamus. The hypothalamus sends a positive signal to the pituitary. The pituitary gland sends a positive signal to the thyroid. The thyroid gland secretes the T3, T4 which comes to the blood and the demand is met with. Imagine another situation where there is an excess level of the T3, T4 like in hyperthyroidism. So whenever there is an excess level of T3, T4, there is always a negative feedback or negative signal which goes to the hypothalamus. The hypothalamus in turn gives a negative signal to the pituitary, or rather once the signal to the hypothalamus is cut, there is no more impulses from the hypothalamus to pituitary, no more impulses from the pituitary to thyroid gland doesn't secrete the hormone, so thereby levels are maintained. So that's how always whenever there is an increased demand or whenever there is an excess of thyroid, the levels are maintained in the blood by means of this feedback system, the positive and the negative feedback system. Now that we have seen the functions of these thyroid hormones and always seen the regulatory mechanism for the thyroid hormone, let us see what are the conditions associated with it. We get to see two types of patients. One is a hypothyroid patient, the other one is a hyperthyroid patient. Hypothyroid situation wherein the thyroid hormones T3, T4 levels are low. Hyperthyroid patient or the primary hyperthyroid patient wherein the T3, T4 levels are always high. Let us see how do we manage and how to manage these patients when they come to a clinic. Our first challenge is to identify this patient whether it's hypothyroid or hyperthyroid. Now how do we do that? Because the significance or the importance of hypothyroid and hyperthyroid and the effects on dental treatment are different in both situations. So it's very important to identify whether the patient is hypothyroid or hyperthyroid. How do we do that? One is based on the patient's signs and symptoms. Two, based on the treatment history, because patient may be well aware of the condition. He or she might even tell you, I'm having a hypothyroid situation. Or in some patients, they don't know what sort of a disease they have, but they know some sort of drugs doctor has given and they know they have thyroid disease. So in such patients also it's very important to identify. Now how do you identify based on the signs and symptoms? In hypothyroid patients, because the thyroid hormones are very less in quantity and quality, there is no much of calorigenic effect or the heat generating effect. So that is why they do have a very low tolerance to cold. They also have a very increased appetite. Okay, but the food what they eat is not easily broken down or is not released into energy because there is again lack of thyroxine. So what happens? They get deposited. The contents of that gets deposited and they will be putting on weight. So they have an increased appetite. They have an intolerance to cold. They have weight gaining property. Since the gastrointestinal mobility is also connected with thyroid, a reduced thyroxine reduces the gastric motility and they might also complain about constipation. And since the cardiovascular effect of this thyroxine is also reduced in these individuals, they might have a reduced cardiac output and a reduced blood pressure or hypertension. Since the thyroxine is essential for the cells, all the cells for growth and development, these patients with hyperthyroid, they also might complain of lack of alertness, lack of memory, the memory retention power is less. Always lethargy, they don't have adequate energy because energy breakdown mechanism is lacking in them. So these are again signs and symptoms of hypothyroid patients. These are signs and symptoms. Okay. Now how do you identify whether these patients are hyperthyroid based on the drugs what they give? Any drug preparation which has got a combination of L-thyroxine or levothyroxine is used as in cases where their patient is hypothyroid. That is used to increase the thyroxine levels. So what do you call drugs like Thyronorm or L-Troxin, these are commercial preparations what usually takes. So any patient who takes this, consider them as hypothyroid. And signs and symptoms also I've told you how to diagnose as a hypothyroid. Now let's see what are the dental implications. Now these patients with hypothyroid usually doesn't have any fatal complications as far as dentistry is concerned or dental treatment is concerned. The only problem with this is they do have a reduced what you call the cardiac output and the hypertension. So they have a tendency for developing or precipitating syncope. Okay, so that's the one problem or one of the major problems associated with patients of hyperthyroid condition. Okay, so that's how you identify based on the drug, based on the history, and when you treat them, always put them on the chair in such a way that you don't induce hypertension further, or the supine position working is best preferred for these patients. Other than that, no major drug interactions, no major complications, no any connection with the use of LA with adrenaline. There's nothing much of major concern with patients with hyperthyroid. Let us take patients with hyperthyroid. How do you identify? Again, from the signs and symptoms. What are the signs and symptoms? They'll be always hyper. They'll be always, calories loss and, sweating and heat loss. They'll be always warm to touch. They'll be always complaining of hyper function of the heart and the tachycardia, palpitations. They also have profuse sweating, I told you. They'll have fine tremors and things like that. Okay, these are all signs and symptoms. They are also sometimes complaining of increased gastric motility, or in other words, diarrhea. So these are the various signs and symptoms of patients with hyperthyroidism. And as far as history, medical history can be checked, the signs and symptoms can be checked, and as far as the drugs what they are taking. Now, any patient who consumes any preparation of carbimazole, methimazole or propylthiouracil, remember they are hyperthyroid patients. These are drugs given to lower the excess secretion of these thyroids. So remember, from the signs and symptoms, how do you identify a hypothyroid from a hyperthyroid? Now we have understood. Now that we have got that diagnosis, I have told you about management of patient on hypothyroid. Now let's see about hyperthyroid. A hyperthyroid patient, but the levels are well maintained, regular follow-up is there, well under doctor's care. You can go ahead with any dental procedure. The only thing what you have to keep in mind is to take necessary care to reduce the stress. What I meant is adopt stress reduction protocols, use of atraumatic techniques, use of anxiolytics or alprazolam or something of that sort the day before or 1 hour before the procedure. Another one important thing is when you're using a local anesthetic with adrenaline. Adrenaline is actually known to be having a cardiostimulatory effect. It's got a very hyperaction on the heart. A patient who is hyperthyroid, the circulating adrenaline, again, the effect of the circulating adrenaline is worsened on the heart by thyroxine. So these high levels of hyperthyroid plus adrenaline complicates the heart, increases the heart functioning. So it's overload the heart, which is already working excess to meet the demands in hyperthyroidism, leads to tachycardia, arrhythmia, and failure of the heart, and ultimately patient can go into thyroid storm and the end results of a cardiovascular collapse. So that's one thing what you have to be very careful about. So a patient on hyperthyroid, the values of which is not controlled, you should not use a local anesthetic with adrenaline. So preferably without adrenaline is the best choice. And any patient in a hyperthyroid condition, it's always recommended to get a physician's consent, because they are in a better situation to diagnose that patient and to indicate and advise us regarding the fitness of the condition. So we have discussed about the thyroid gland, its functions, the mechanism of action, the regulatory mechanisms. We have also discussed about hypothyroid condition, the signs and symptoms and dental significance and the blood picture. We have also discussed about the hyperthyroidism, the signs and symptoms and what are its dental implications. And as far as the blood report is concerned or blood checkup is concerned, you should always get the blood check in these individuals and check for your thyroid function test. What are they? The levels of TSH, the levels of T3, levels of T4. These has to be monitored in such patients. Mind you, T3, T4 and TSH. A T3 value of 75 to 200 milligrams, 75 to 200 nanograms per liter is considered to be normal. A T4 value of 0.9 to 1.9 nanograms per liter is considered to be a normal value. So make sure, depending upon the lab, there might be difference in the ranges of values. So consult the concerned lab and the reference ranges, and always make sure you check the T3 default level. That is more important for you. It's not TSH level what bothers you. T3 default level, high range in the blood is always a warning sign for you not to use adrenaline, not to do any dental procedure which is stressful walking. You should be taking care the possibility of thyroid storm and these type of situations. So I hope by now we have discussed all matters pertaining to dental treatment and thyroid disorders. I hope this have been useful to you. Thank you.